The Porch in the Storm, a journey through Stoicism. The year is 300 BCE. A merchant named Zeno stands on the shores of Piraeus, watching the Mediterranean swallow his ship, his fortune, and his future. Most men would scream at the gods. Zeno, however, walked into a bookstore in Athens, picked up a book about Socrates, and asked the bookseller, "Where can I find men like this?" This was the birth of Stoicism. It isn't a philosophy of having no feelings. It is a philosophy of inner fortress. To understand Stoicism from beginning to end, we must walk through its pillars: the things we control, the things we don't, and the character we build in between. 1. The dichotomy of control. The foundation of Stoicism is a simple, brutal line in the sand. As Epiktetos, a man born into slavery who became a great teacher, wrote, "Some things are up to us, and some things are not up to us." Imagine a Roman archer. He chooses his bow, he polishes his arrow, and he trains his muscles for years. He draws the string with perfect focus. This, the effort, is within his control. But the moment the arrow leaves the string, it belongs to the wind, the movement of the target, and fate. A Stoic focuses entirely on the aim, not the hit. If the wind blows the arrow off course, the Stoic is at peace, because he performed his part perfectly. 2. The four cardinal virtues. Stoicism isn't just about being calm, it's about being good. To navigate the world, the Stoics used a compass with 4 points. Practical wisdom, phronesis, navigating complex situations logically and calmly. Justice, dikaiosune, treating others fairly, even if they wrong you. Courage, andreia, not just in battle, but the courage to face the truth. Temperance, sophrosine, self-control and moderation in all things. 3. The Philosopher King, Marcus Aurelius. The ultimate test of Stoicism came during the reign of Marcus Aurelius, the most powerful man on earth. While the plague ravaged Rome and Germanic tribes attacked the borders, the emperor sat in his tent and wrote a diary to himself, now known as the Meditations. He didn't write about his power. He wrote about how to wake up when he didn't feel like it. He wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." When his trusted general, Avidius Cassius, betrayed him and attempted a coup, Marcus didn't seek bloody revenge. He wept for the loss of a friend and told his soldiers that if Cassius were killed before he could reach him, he would be robbed of the chance to forgive his enemy. That is Stoic justice in action. 4. The modern martyr, James Stockdale. Stoicism isn't an ancient relic. In 1965, Admiral James Stockdale's plane was shot down over Vietnam. As he ejected, he whispered to himself, "I'm leaving the world of technology and entering the world of Epiktetos." For 7 years, he was tortured in the Hanoi Hilton. He had no rights and no certainty of release. He survived by applying the dichotomy of control. He couldn't control his captors, the chains, or the pain. But he could control his soul. He refused to be a broken man, creating a secret communication system for his fellow prisoners and maintaining his dignity. He proved that even in a cage, a human mind can remain free. 5. Practicing the philosophy. How does one do Stoicism? through 3 daily exercises. Premortatio malorum, negative visualization. Imagine the worst-case scenario. If you imagine losing your job, you realize you can survive it. It turns fear into a plan and gratitude for what you currently have. Amor fati, love of fate. Don't just tolerate what happens, embrace it. If it rains on your wedding, don't be miserable. Love the rain. It is the reality of the moment. Memento mori, remember you will die. This isn't morbid. It's a reminder that life is a loan, not a possession. It forces you to stop wasting time on trivialities. The end of the journey. Stoicism ends where it began, with the individual. It teaches us that while we cannot control the weather of life, the economy, the opinions of others, or our ultimate death, we are the captains of our own ship. When Seneca, the great Stoic advisor, was ordered to commit suicide by the tyrant Nero, his friends wept. Seneca looked at them and asked, "Where is your philosophy?" He died with total composure, not because he was cold, but because he had spent his life practicing for that final moment. To be a Stoic is to realize that the world can take your money, your health, and your freedom, but it can never take your will to be a good person unless you hand it over. You are the master of the citadel inside your mind.